Next, we're going to talk about 1099Rs and where to input it. For 1099R, you're going to see that we're going to have to enter on page 13 of the cert, and then also look for an tax return on line 1040, line A5 or 5A, and on the worksheet. So let's go to page 13, and I'm going to go use this right here. So it's 13.1 actually. And I have a couple examples. Let's start with this one. And this is what a 1099R looks like. It says it right here, very small. So if I zoom in, you'll see it right here, 1099R. But 1099R usually looks like this, where it shows gross distribution, taxable amount, and you'll see IRA, simple IRA box right here. So what we're going to do is first enter in the company name. So this is Fidelity. Okay, and if there is an account number, we could enter that in. In this case, there isn't. And now, same thing as before, we're just going to go through boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just line it up. Actually, sorry, we have to go look at the federal ID number, which is right here. And this is make sure the address matches what shows over here. So that matches. If it doesn't match, then you could just prompt it in yourself. Now it's time to go through all the numbered boxes. So what I'm going to do is just look at this middle one. So just like the W-2, it gives you 4 copies. We just need to use one of the copies. And we're just going to go through each one. This one is labeled box 1 here, box 2A, 2A here. So we could just follow this verbatim. 615. Now you'll see right here, there are 2 check boxes that we could check off. In this one, it says taxable amount not determined. So we're just going to check that off. If it's not checked, you leave it blank, such as for this one, total distribution, we're just going to leave blank. So match it exactly the same. Box 3 has nothing. Box 4 has 14627. Box 5 and 6 doesn't have anything. 7 right here has code 7. So let's go here. You could type 7, or you could just do the drop down. Okay, this one has an IRA SEP IRA box, so we're just going to check that off as box 7. Box 8 doesn't have nothing, 9 doesn't have nothing, 14 has something, so let's go to see if there's a box 14. So box 14, because it's state income tax, it's going to be all the way down here. 4161. And then in most cases, we don't need to worry about this at all when it comes to the 1099Rs. For W-2s, you have to enter it in, but for 1099Rs, you don't have to enter in the California number at all. So we finished with 1. Now let's go to the second one. I'm just going to use the name here. So this is Morgan Stanley. And just make sure all this matches with what's on here. So that matches. This one does not match right here. So let's change this up. Phone number, I think it's this one right here. Okay. We're just going to go through the boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 all over again. So box 1, $6,000, $6,000, taxable amount not determined, total distribution. Okay, so I'm checking all those boxes. Nothing in 3, 4, 5, or 6. Box 7 has a number 2. This one has a box checked. Okay, and then everything else is blank. So we are done entering this one. Now let's enter in one last one right here. And this one's a little bit different because you'll see that the taxable amount is 0. And what we're going to do, we're just going to copy exactly what that is. Again, here, if it's for the spouse or taxpayer, remember to click that off. In this case, let's just assume they're all taxpayers. Address matches per phone number. Gross distribution is 10,288. This is 0. No other boxes checked. 3, 4, 5 has a number, so 10288. 6, 7 has a code in it, code G. So scrolling. Okay, everything else is 0. So looking at 8, 9, 10, 14, all that is 0. So we entered everything in correctly. So now, going back to the reference guide, 1099Rs, we did everything in page 13. Now we are ready to check on it on line 1040, line 4A or 5A, and on the worksheet. So what I like to do is actually go to the worksheet only. I prefer not to use a 1040 because say if I went to the 1040, it just gives me totals sometimes, and sometimes the total doesn't break out exactly what I entered. So the way you see exactly what you entered is going to the worksheet. So The W-2 is up here. Now all the IRA and pension retirement 1099-Rs will be reported in this section right here. So let's go back to what we entered, and let's just make sure that everything is entered in correctly. So here, 41,615, that's correct. Box 2, taxable amount. Yep, it says taxable amount right here, and 41,615, it matches. Federal withholding 14,627, that matches, and state withholding matches. Perfect. Now let's go to the second one. This one says 6,000, 6,000, which is right here, and everything else is 0. So you won't see anything here, and won't see anything here. Now for 1099-Rs, you're gonna only need to know box 1, 2A, 4, and 14 when it comes to this section right here. So just these 4 sections. Okay, now let's go to this one. This one is 10,288. Everything else is 0, so that matches, and we entered everything correctly. Now the difference between pension and IRA distribution is this little box right here. Okay, if this box is checked, it will be under here in this section called IRA distribution schedule. If it's not checked, such as this one, it shows up in pensions and annuities. So for example, if we go to the first one, this box is checked. That's why it shows under this box right here. Same thing for this one. This box, IRA simple, is checked, so it goes under this box right here.